Hello everyone, this is just a very short video. You can't really see much there. This is our potato bed. Earlier in the year, by August, we started seeing some signs of blight. We are on allotments, so it's quite rife. We chopped the plants down immediately, left the soil covered with a straw and just left the potatoes in. It's now the 2nd of November and I've started to come and get some more potatoes, and because we haven't been digging much and compacting or standing on the soil is nice and friable, and for the best part we can just pull the soil apart to get to the potatoes. And look at that, it's just lovely. Amazing pulling out potatoes that we grew. And even though we had blight on the plants, the second we saw it, we just chopped the plants, kept the soil covered and left it. The soil is not very dry. It's very friable still. It's still slightly moist, not wet. And it's just nice and soft. So potatoes do generally help to break down heavy soil anyway. But because we're not going to put potatoes in here for a good many years again, the soil will recover from having to have the potatoes dug up. And then as I'm digging where the potatoes were, I'll just leave the trench and then I'll put some of that old straw. Oopsie, another potato. We don't want to miss any. They're going to come up again next year, which is not a bad thing if they come up when you weren't planning. But oh, look, see, keep going. The more, if I dig this hole, then when I've made sure I've got all the potatoes out, I will just backfill a little bit with some of the straw from the top and the chopped up plants that I've chopped and dropped on the surface, and then I'll cover it with the soil and that green stuff and the straw. Look at those lovely worms. It will rot down and carry on fertilizing the soil. So this is pretty much the hardest work I have on the plot, is the potatoes. Oh, and maybe, well, not even the yacon, because that is no dig soil too, so that I just kind of dig out with my hands. Very rarely in this bed am I having to use the fork to loosen any soil, because right the way down, see how deep this bed is, that's my knee above the bed there, right the way down it's still pretty loose. Sometimes raised beds can compact the soil to the bottom, but every say 3 years or so, I know people are saying it's not really helpful, as much useful or needful to rotate crops, but we want the soil to be able to get its nourishment back and the microorganisms to kind of recover and heal from all this upheaval. So there we go, some of the straw and green leaves chopped and dropped, put back in the hole and backfilled with a little bit of the soil. There we go, and now I'll move on to another one. See you when the bed's finished.